Hey guys, it's Cal from the Lighting Doctor here. I hope you guys enjoy this video with some more great landscape lighting tips. To learn more about landscape lighting, go and check out our website at lightingdoctor.ca, or if you want to see what a real quality landscape light should look like, go and check out our Try It Before You Buy It offer, where you can get a premium quality fixture at a discounted rate with your very own battery pack, so you can go and test out how that light's going to look and feel what a real premium quality light should look like. So go and check us out at lightingdoctor.ca, or go watch more videos on YouTube just by searching for the Lighting Doctor.
Hey guys, it's Cal from the Lighting Doctor here, and in this video I'm going to review our two uplights that we actually offer. Now, after years of testing and trying all kinds of different lights, which a lot have failed, a lot haven't worked well, we've kind of finally came up with two that we really like. And you guys are familiar with at least one of these lights, but we have offered a new kind of Econovision, not Econovision, sorry, I just watched a Eurovision movie with Will Ferrell, so that's in my head, but a more economy grade one that's just, it's a little bit less quality than kind of our premium fixture. It's at a price point that I know some of you guys are looking for, but it's still way better than anything you're gonna find out there. So I'm gonna review and kind of compare the differences so that you guys can see what the difference is, because that's a question I get asked all the time. So first off, I will talk about the RS Uplight from FX Luminaire. By far our staple light. I still think this is the best light out there. Again, I don't work for FX Luminaire or Hunter Industries. I just have tested a lot of lights, and I know for what you pay and what you get, I don't think there's anything better out there. So why we like this one, I will explain that, and I'll show you the similarities between a new light that we're kind of offering. Is more of a generic one. You can find similar models out there. There's a ton of different uplights, and trust me, we've tested them all, and it's taken a long time for us to even settle on this one. It's taken us 6 years to settle on another version of an uplight to offer at a lower price, because so many of the things were just garbage. We had to test them to find out. We know that they don't last very long. So the other thing we did too is we took the body, but what we've done is we're still going to give you the same great quality as the FX Luminaire offers with the uplights. So they've come out with a new, same thing, FX has come out with kind of a more of a economy type LED lamp, which is still, from our opinion and what we've seen, still way better than any of the other lamps out there that you're going to find on Amazon. It's not their premium one that comes in a lot of their standard fixtures now, but it's still so much better. And what we've done to kind of upgrade this one is we said, well, let's go put that FX Luminaire technology inside what we think is a pretty darn good uplight at a better price point, and offer that to you. So for those of you that are, maybe just stuck on that $89, $90 for an uplight, well, now you can go find one that's maybe $30, $40 cheaper. So, the differences really are not huge, but it's subtle little differences. One is just the sheer weight and material. This is a zinc aluminum combo. This is just an aluminum one. You can't tell from this video, but if you ever order any of our Try It Before You Buy It lights, which you can access at lightingdoctor.ca, where you can get these, either one of these lights at a discounted rate, comes with a battery pack, so you can go and plug it in and test it out. They're gonna look pretty much the same against your house, but you will feel the difference. This one is by far more well built, better quality, heavier fixture, and you wouldn't know that unless you could hold it, but that's why we have our Try It Before You Buy light. So that's the first difference. Second thing is just the shrouds. This one does have a longer one, this has a shorter one. Personally, I tend to like the shorter ones because it allows us more options to mess around with the bulbs with wider degrees and shorter degrees on a lot of these lights. And I'll mention another point about that too, is you're not going to have a lot of options to do that, because if you put a wider bulb in something that has a longer shroud, well, it's still going to cut off a lot of the light. I like this one because it allows you to play with those options if you want a wider bulb and different things like that. And if you're worried about the glare and whether that's going to be in your eyes or anything, there's also better options that you can add to this one as opposed to some of the others. So I'll get into that too. The other reason I like this one is if you need to access the bulb, these all come with FX Luminaire's premium quality lamps. These are it's not just me saying it. They're by far the most efficient LED lamps on the market. You can go and check it out. All LED lamps have something called their VA. So what this is a 4-watt lamp, and the VA on it is 4.2. What that means is the less efficient a bulb is, the farther those numbers are. So you'll see a lot of bulbs out there that'll say 3 watts, but they're actually using like 6.7 watts, and that's just because their efficiency is not as good. And that's why we don't use the what they recommend for the bulb in these other fixtures. We don't use those because I know they're crap, because I go replace them every 2-3 years, and that's not what you want from an LED lamp. So we've upgraded these with that FX luminaire technology. So but the nice thing is it's super easy to get into the RS uplight, because you basically just unscrew that top shroud. It's all silicone, very waterproof. It has this orange ring for more waterproofing, which is really, really good. So I like that. Easy to access the bulb, easy to change it out. It's flexible, you can move it. The reason I like that too is now, say you do have a glare issue or something like that, or you want to put a frosted filter so it's not as bright, or the holidays you want to put a colored filter, well, you can go and throw those filters right on top, and then there's lots of room where that bulb will actually sit down below, and you can go put this back on. Whereas some of the other fixtures that it's not kind of springy in there and you can't really move that bulb, it gets tough to do something like that. So that's a couple of the reasons why I like this one. This is still waterproof. There's still silicone here, but there is more area for the water to potentially get in if that seal is weak. However, these ones do perform really well. And the only other thing is, now if you need to get into the bulb here to switch that at some point, there's this tiny little set screw that it comes with an Allen key, but it's just one more thing you gotta do. And when you first get them, that's no big deal, but over time, as that kind of gets filled with dirt and all that, you might have to clean it out, and it can be a bit of a hassle. Again, it's just little things, but that's what makes the RS uplight such a good fixture as opposed to a lot of the options. But still really like this one. Another thing I really like, they both are kind of similar on the set screws on the side here. So to adjust the angle up and down, basically a simple Phillips screwdriver. You will notice, again, if you had the try before you buy it lights, that this one, it just holds a lot better. I know for a fact that these ones and many of the other versions that are out there, probably every 2 to 3 years, you're probably going to go have to tighten that. It just doesn't hold as well as the RS uplight. So it just takes more maintenance. You save up front, but there's all those little maintenance things down the road. Same thing down the road, 5-10 years, when you gotta go change that bulb, it's just gonna take you a little bit longer. So it's all those little things that add up. The other thing is that on the RS uplight, this wire is actually a 10-foot lead on it, which is great if you don't install a lot of lights and you're not 100% sure where they gotta go, because you can wire that in, and then you got 10 feet around that you can play and you can move that light, which is great. Whereas most other uplights that you're going to find on the market, they only have a 3-foot lead wire, same as this one. Not a bad thing. Usually that's enough. You can leave a little extra of your main line in the ground so you have that flexibility, which I would recommend anyway. But it's just one more, again, added feature. More wire, better wire, all those kinds of things. So that's why, that's why we pay a premium for this. That's why we pay a little bit more for that. They both have, the bottom threads are both 1/2 inch, which is pretty much standard for any uplight that you're going to find on the market. So that makes it super easy if you're mounting it on a house, a deck, a pergola. You can go to the electrical aisle. You can get any kind of mounting bracket that has a 1/2 inch female thread, and the 1/2 inch male thread on the bottom of that fixture will go in there. No issues there. The other thing, and kind of the, I guess would be the final thing, is the ground stakes. Both very, very similar ground stakes. Again, why we like this one as opposed to a lot of the cheap ground stakes that we see out there with a lot of the lights that you're going to find. They're almost identical. The only difference is this one is a little bit better quality material. It's a little more flexible. I know in the cold, this one has more tendency to break, but it's still it's still 100 times better. I mean, if you run over this with, I don't know what you'd be doing in the wintertime, a snowblower, I guess. You're not riding your bike or anything in the wintertime. There's better chance you're going to break this than you will this one. I just know that. But I do like that they have the slot on both of these for the wire. And like I've mentioned in other videos, why that's important is because now you can pound the ground stake in the ground first with a rubber mallet or a hammer, and then you can just slide the wire in and then screw that fixture into your ground stake. Whereas if it doesn't have that slot, which a lot of them don't, it's a pain in the butt because you got to feed that wire through first, and then it looks like this. And if you try and hammer this in with the wire over like this, you can try and just hit it on this side, but I know even sometimes I hit the wire and then you break that wire and then you're kind of screwed because you only have a 6 inches of wire left here, so it makes it pretty tough to make your connections. So another thing we like about both of these lights is that small little ground stake, as well as the barbs that they both have on these. It really helps it from coming up. It doesn't seem like it's a big deal, but when you've seen as many different fixtures out there as we have, these little things will not only save you time and headaches, they make your system last longer, they make it look better, all these kinds of things. So I hope that helps clarify the difference between these two lights. Keep in mind, they're going to look very similar because you have the option to go change the bulbs, add those filters, add those hex baffles, all those things, but there's just a couple of those little subtleties that make them different. Biggest thing is quality. You live in a harsh environment. We have a ton of customers in Florida, Alabama, and all these kinds of places that it's amazing after a hurricane how many of them will email and say, I can't believe all our lights are still intact, there's no problem. That's usually when we go with these. These are going to be more waterproof than those. Long term, short term, 5-7 years, you'll be fine. But long term, 10-15 years, if this is your forever home, which nowadays it very well might be, the little extra money you're going to pay up front now for the RS fixture is going to be worth it. But if you're in that situation, you're looking for something a little more competitive, but still has a lot of the FX luminaire technology and a lot of the features that we like from it, that's been tested, that we know, that we install, that I will personally back. This is another really, really good option. And I'll be honest with you, this same fixture is made from a couple different manufacturers, so I'm not even going to mention the brand because depending on who's going to give us the best price, I know it's the same fixture. I'm not a bozo. I know it's the exact same fixture from 3-4 different companies. We're going to get you guys the best price, and we're going to use that same fixture. So that's why I won't give you the brand. Right now it might be called this. Next year it might be called this, but I know it's the same fixture. I know they're made in the same place. So I'll leave that out, but really good quality fixture if you're looking for more of an economy based option. So I hope that helped kind of explain the difference between the uplights, why we like these. In some future videos, I'm going to talk about some different kinds of uplights, some in-ground lights and some wash lights that are used for totally different purposes. These are typically used for the same purposes, for uplighting trees, sometimes washing the front architectural pieces of your home, which is why we like them, because you can upgrade the bulbs if you've got a second story home. If you've got a rancher, you might not need something as bright. Gives you all those kinds of options. But again, very similar lights, couple subtleties. We like them both, but they both serve their purpose. So subscribe to the channel for more reviews on different lights to use, where to use them. Check out all our how-to videos, search Lighting Doctor on YouTube, and I hope to get all your guys' comments, and I hope you guys continue watching. We really appreciate it. Hey guys, I really hope you enjoyed that video presentation with some great tips and tools on how to go and properly and effectively light up your landscape. And be sure, if you want your own free consultation video, just send me an email at cal@lightingdoctor.ca with a few pictures of your property, and we'll get back to you with some really cool ideas and ways to go and effectively light your property. And be sure to watch the videos after this one for more tips on how to install landscape lighting, as well as how to light up your landscape the best way possible.